tough talking.
I'm a dream squasher, basically.
Good luck, Bob, you're going to need it.
Ooh!
Which can be tricky to take on board.
Pear tree, apple tree.
I'm not sure what to think at the moment.
Unless we're very direct.
Wildly impractical.
It's not making me excited.
You've been no help.
But it's the end result that counts.
I love it, I love it.
You really like this house?
I'm sold.
So this is location, location, location.
This week, our search bridges two nations.
I'm with a young family who want to swap their English city rental for a Welsh rural retreat.
And I'm with a couple struggling to seal a deal in this fast-paced market.
The river's not quite so fast-paced, is it?
I wouldn't fancy jumping in it.
Well, we'll need to dive in headfirst if we're going to get anywhere in the current market.
You're absolutely right. Lead the way, Kirsty. I'm right behind you.
Wonderful Wales offers excellent value for money. Average house prices here are 213 grand. Across the border in England, the figure is 43% higher at £304,000.
While that bodes well for a bargain, as we search, prices in Wales are rising. In fact, they're some of the fastest moving in the UK, so we better get going. Our first set of house hunters are Welsh native Lara and her partner Bob,
Oh, so close.
who are looking to buy their first home together in Cardiff.
Get it!
Lara works as a learning disability nurse for the NHS, and Bob is an architectural designer. They got together 2 years ago.
We met through a dating app.
Well, it was my second attempt, wasn't it? Because you didn't reply to my messages on the first dating app, so...
It took two dating apps.
Yeah.
That's digital devotion for you. Originally from Dublin, Bob moved to Wales 19 years ago. Lara is from Cwmbran, a little to the north of Cardiff. But 7 months ago, she sold her 3-bed house and moved into Bob's 1-bed rented flat in the city. Now, they're both feeling the squeeze.
In my previous house, I had a whole room dedicated to my wardrobe. I have actually taken over and leaving Bob with one shelf. I still find it really difficult.
It's never enough.
You're so shelf-less, Bob. But Lara's fondness for fashion isn't the only thing causing issues with their current living quarters.
We can only have 2 friends around, really, because otherwise there's nowhere to sit. Bob works from home quite a lot. Constantly, I get banished to the bedroom because Bob says I speak too loud.
Volume is clearly a problem in more ways than one, and has been for some time. But bagging their dream period property in the posh and pricey parts of Cardiff have proven beyond them, even with a budget of 410 grand.
Constantly are looking at the housing apps and websites.
If you're not quick enough, their allocation for viewings is being booked out. It's like getting tickets for Glastonbury. So you just got to constantly refresh that page.
I'm sure we can do better than a 2-man tent in a muddy field, but in this messy market, backstage passes might be a challenge.
We've put in offers on around 10 houses.
We've been pipped at the post every time.
I think we've been in properties that I've really liked, and Bob is looking at me and I'm already tearing up because I'm already resigned to the fact that we're not going to get this house.
It's been a 12-month emotional rollercoaster for them both. But Lara's taken it particularly hard.
I'll walk into a property and absolutely fall in love with it because I'll see the period tiles. Bob then is like, Lara, there's no roof, or so, that's an extreme thing, but Bob is very much more practical.
That said, the houses you fall in love with are lovely houses. Like, your heart is saying the right things.
It sounds like they've got the makings of a successful home buying team. They just need a bit of expertise in their corner.
Lovely to meet you.
Really good to meet you.
Seriously here to help, and I'm sure that we can. It gives me genuine comfort that you've offered on 10.
Yeah.
But you are being outbid and the market is moving.
Yeah.
But let's talk about areas.
Yeah, so we really love Pontcanna area.
In Canton, I'd say.
But we are realistic in terms of, are we able to afford a house in this area? But we would like to be close to bars and restaurants. We like being close to the centre.
Can you just spell out for me what it is we're looking for?
One of the top things is to have parking space.
We've both had those days when we've come back from work and possibly spend around 15 to 20 minutes looking for a parking space.
So that's an absolute must-have, parking?
It's at least one space.
Okay.
Yeah, so a 3-bed house, open plan sort of dining kitchen.
Lara's a sucker for a lovely Victorian tiled floor.
Okay.
walk-in wardrobe or dressing room.
What's the budget?
Our absolute maximum budget would be 410.
Okay.
And tick all the boxes, essentially.
Yeah.
I've got sort of slight alarm bells ringing in the back of my small brain. I think the conflict between your desire for parking and your desire to be close to the town is a problem.
And I think that's why we need your help.
I can't create more parking. You've got to bring your search to an end. It's gone on long enough. You need your walk-in wardrobe back.
I do, definitely.
There's not a moment to waste in this runaway market.
Come on.
Keep up.
Bob and Lara have a deposit of £100,000 made up from the sale of Lara's house, plus savings, and combined with a mortgage, gives them a maximum spend of £410,000.
They're looking for a character property with an open-plan kitchen diner and at least 3 bedrooms. Enough space for Bob to work from home and for Lara's extensive wardrobe.
They're flexible on the condition of the house, but off-street parking and close proximity to bars and restaurants are essential. So my search will be focused on trendy areas to the north and west of Cardiff city centre, whilst remaining close enough to Cumbran and Newport for work.
Whereas my couple's rural search will see us scouring villages on both sides of the border, close to Chepstow, and no more than a 45-minute drive to their jobs in Bristol. Chris works as a nurse for the NHS in Bristol, and Laura is a facilities manager at a university there. They met on a dating site 6 years ago and hit it off immediately.
Laura's great, you know, she's very kind.
Chris is just amazing.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a good team.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
And the team has now got a third member, Jack, who was born a year ago.
We've got a baby now, haven't we?
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. Just started walking, so it's like following a little drunk person around all day.
Yeah, he's so full of beans. He's just the light of our lives. He's perfect.
Unlike their rented one-bed house in central Bristol, which is bursting at the seams.
We've completely outgrown it. Got a ball pit in our living room. Jack's not got his own bedroom. He's still in a cot right next to the bed because that's all we can do.
It's not just a bigger house that this young family are after. It's a total lifestyle makeover. They want to swap the hustle and bustle of city living for a 3-bed period property in the beautiful and tranquil South Wales countryside, close to the charming riverside town of Chepstow.
We would love to have a massive garden, lots of space for Jack to run around in, place to grow plants and fruit and veg, some chickens, and just the great outdoors, the good life, really.
Yeah.
It's a popular dream, and for exactly that reason carries a premium price tag. Chris and Laura have been long-distance house hunting for the past 6 months and have only managed to view 7 properties within their 350 grand budget, losing out on one dream house along the way.
I would say Laura is very much the brains of this house hunting operation.
I think I will look into the finer details of things. You're probably more likely to go with sort of an instant heart reaction. We even each other out quite well.
But I mean, we haven't found a house yet, so maybe
Maybe not.
Sounds like this team need a coach to harness their enthusiasm and give them a bit of direction.
I think it's been a real struggle because there just aren't that many properties out there with the amount of space that we really want. We are willing to compromise. It's just what that ends up being on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Need a little bit of help.
I'm always happiest with the reins in my hand.
So, Jack is one. And he's all over the shop walking. And you're in a 1-bed flat?
Yes.
Right, OK, so I think we've established why you need to move. Your budget is $350 to the max. What do you want for that?
I think by far and away the biggest thing is the plot it all sits on, a nice big garden.
And it might be that the house is not as big as would be perfect, but that's all right.
You don't really care what the house looks like inside unless it's not livable.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's got to be livable.
Have you made an offer on anything?
We did make an offer on one. It did have a third of an acre. It was semi-detached, but the views were spectacular, and that we fell in love with.
So you yourselves have only seen one property which had a garden big enough? Yeah. Is this a forever home? Say no, just say no.
Ideally, yes.
OK, I got that feeling.
Yeah.
That phrase forever home can put really unnecessary pressure on you. I'm sorry, am I being super gloomy?
No, I think it's all good. I think this is...
I think you're just being realistic. This is what we need to hear.
I think we need to get out there, see what's on the market, which comes anywhere close to your criteria, analyse it and work out what is realistic.
Yeah.
Sounds very scientific, Kirsty.
Yes, but this search might need a bit of magic. Chris and Laura have saved hard and with a little help from their folks have put together a deposit of 35 grand and along with a mortgage have a maximum spend of £350,000.
They want a period property, ideally with 3 bedrooms. They don't mind a project, but the house must be on a big plot. Garden is everything.
Preferably near a village and no more than 45 minutes drive to Bristol for work.
What's Hope? Morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. What's this?
This is my new thing so I don't lose my phone.
You probably
I'm
hang
being
yourself.
strangled by my own phone.
That means you'll be
yeah.
on the phone even more.
I know, no. Tell me about your couple.
They've seen 20 and they've offered on 10. So I think they're up to speed with the market. They're realistic, but they're just not getting across the line, and that's where I can help.
I've got this couple. They want to buy a sort of chicken and vegetable type of plot. I'm saying you both work full time. You both have to commute back into Bristol. You've got a 1-year-old. Where's the time for the good life? I'm a dream squasher, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure you'll find them a new dream, Kirsty. Bob and Lara want a central Cardiff location with private parking. 2 things rarely seen together, even with a budget of £410,000. But I might have found a way around that problem. Whitchurch is only 3 miles north of the city, but that means you can find properties with parking without giving up on the bars and restaurants.
We've stretched the boundaries just a little bit in order to get you this. It doesn't get better parking.
The holy grail. No complaints about that. That's
Happy?
Yeah, it looks good.
3 bedrooms on the market at 380,000.
Okay.
380.
Fab.
Okay.
Good. Come on in.
They both seem on board, and this 1930s house has the space and all the period character they could want. There's a lovely open-plan living-cum dining room. The kitchen isn't the dream size, but I've got a plan to open it up.
Upstairs there are 3 bedrooms, 2 doubles on the first floor plus bathroom. Bob gets his home office, Lara gets her dressing room, and they both get to share the impressive main suite with shower room in the converted loft space.
There's a delightful mature garden at the back, plus it nails the all-important off-road parking. At offers over 380 grand, we think they'd be able to bring it in close to the asking price, well below their maximum budget of 410,000.
There are your tiles.
Straight away.
Do you want to buy it?
Sold.
And you've got parquet flooring in here.
Very nice.
It's a typical
Yeah.
1930s house. There's a galley kitchen just the other side of that wall. And I know you wanted a kitchen diner set, but there is the opportunity to actually extend it into the garden. And neighbours down the street have done that.
Definitely up there for consideration.
Yeah, really impressed.
This pair seem game for a bit of remodelling, Phil, which is great. They could work wonders downstairs, and the upstairs is good to go.
Oh, it's bigger than I expected.
Decent size, yeah. Oh, this is bigger again.
It's basically already a made dressing room.
Yeah.
The fitted wardrobe is huge.
I'm always finding my feet a little bit with first houses as I understand more about them and how they think and how they react.
These stairs are lovely.
So far, it seems to be going pretty well. This is obviously a galley kitchen, and that is going to be a negative for them. But I have absolutely nailed the parking, and that was a really big one to get right.
No need to be modest, Phil. Parking is just one of the many pluses of this house.
Oh, wow. This is really nice. It's huge.
It's massive. You can see nearly everyone to the left has fully extended the width of the house.
That'd be huge downstairs then.
It'd be a really good space. It's definitely got potential, hasn't it? There's a bit of work to be done.
Yeah.
Bob and Lara are certainly engaging with the space. Could this be a hole-in-one, Phil?
There's lots that we really like about this house, but there's a lot that we would want to change. There's obviously the kitchen diner.
Trying to calculate that in our heads of how much it's going to cost.
So somewhere with a bigger, better kitchen, somewhere that has character but doesn't need as much TLC as this one.
Yeah, I think so.
I reckon you can safely park this one, Phil.
You're right, Kirsty. We need a change of gear.
This week, we're in South Wales. I'm with Chris and Laura, who want to leave city living for a slice of the good life.
And I'm with Bob and Lara, whose hopes of buying a love nest keep crashing down in a wild market.
Having offered on 10 houses in Cardiff and been outbid every time, Bob and Lara are desperate to stop searching and start buying. They saw the potential of house number 1 in Whitchurch, but it didn't win them over.
There's a lot that we would want to change.
As for nurse Chris and facilities manager Laura, they're keen to set down roots in the Welsh countryside with their 1-year-old Jack. But a rural idyll within a 45-minute commute of Bristol has proved elusive, even with their 350 grand budget.
Definitely the garden is the most important thing. Our checklist for the house is fairly small.
It may be a short list, but the number of properties that fit the bill is even shorter, and the market is super speedy. But I think we may have unearthed something rather special. We've come to the sought-after village of Mathen, less than 10 minutes drive from Chepstow and a 30-minute commute to work. This could give Chris and Laura the good life they're after, but on a more manageable scale.
Now, I'll be completely honest, this is what I think would be the perfect house. It has a garden which is considerably bigger than the average garden. It is not the amount of space you have been looking for, but it's on the market at just shy of £330,000. What are you feeling?
I like it.
Definitely not a straight no.
No,
Yeah.
it's a lovely community. One of our team went to the village fete here on Saturday.
Oh, we love a fete.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's rain. I thought it was a bird poo.
Oh, that's a shame. Bird poo's meant to be good luck.
I've already been fortunate finding this 1950s semi. It may need modernising, but it is perfectly livable for now. Downstairs, there's a spacious sitting room and separate living-cum-dining room. The kitchen is ample, but there is some additional space to extend into later without giving up any of the garden.
Upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms, 2 of them comfortable doubles. Jack gets his own room, Chris and Laura get theirs, and there's 1 to spare, plus bathroom with separate toilet. But outside is where this place really shines. There's a substantial rear garden with more than enough space to grow vegetables, keep chickens, and for Jack to run around.
Plus, the place is a cheery 20 grand below their maximum budget of £350,000.
You could have that as a sort of
Yeah.
snug.
Yeah.
And then here you've got the kitchen, so I think I would spend any money you had on attempting to take that wall and refitting this kitchen.
Yeah. Well, this is probably bigger than our whole downstairs.
It is, yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah. And this
It's a
house,
considerable upgrade.
this house
Yeah.
is solid. I'm not going to drag you out in the rain, but I'm going to go outside and I'm going to illustrate the average garden
Okay.
from where I stand, and then I'm going to come back in. So stay there. City garden, this average garden for a house this size. All of this is extra. Pear tree, apple tree.
22 years of working together, and I've never known you to willingly run out in the rain, Kirsty. Are you trying to make a point?
I think you'd struggle to manage more than that at this stage in your life.
Yeah. It feels it's practical, isn't it?
A huge positive in my book, especially with the toddler in tow. But it wouldn't take much to turn this place into a happy family home. Let's hope it's a grower.
Laura and Chris are very much in this together. But I think Laura is driving this move.
I guess this might be
Would this be our room?
Jack's room. I don't know.
Jack's room.
With the garden view. Yeah.
I think Chris just walked in here and thought, yep, this might be just the ticket.
I think this is a great contender.
I'm not sure what to think at the moment.
Yeah.
I understand.
You're sitting on the fence with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I understand why it's been picked, definitely.
There's no doubt that Laura has her heart set on more garden than this.
It only takes one unrealistic expectation to topple an otherwise achievable search. This is a strong house with a bigger than average garden, and it's what Chris and Laura can afford.
I can definitely see that it provides us everything that we
You can hear a butt coming.
need,
yes.
but it's not making me really excited.
If that house was available with a garden that was as big as the 2 gardens, but it was a half an hour further away, would you go for it?
I would.
That is the problem. That is an hour a day, 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's too
Is that
much time.
sustainable?
And the dialogue between you two has to be, how many compromises are we going to make
Yeah.
in order to get that bigger piece of land?
Yeah.
I actually really like this house. Probably quite convenient for us. And you know you're not biting off more than you can chew.
Yes. Yeah.
What a pair. Chris is rooting for this place, but Laura is having difficulty letting go of her field of dreams, which leaves me scratching my head.
Back in Cardiff with Bob and Lara, and for our second property, we've come to Roath, just north of the city centre. It's an area they have considered and borders one of their top spots, Heath. And here they can get a lot of house for their money.
I've got a great, big and lovely house here for you. The rub is that I've lost private parking.
Yeah, the house looks lovely and it's really nice to be close to the bars and restaurants, but the parking fear is still there.
So that is a concern at the back of my mind.
Promise, I hear you, but I want to show you the house because it is quite a special house. Let's get inside.
Right.
It will need to be if it's going to persuade Bob and Lara to give up on parking.
If any place is going to do it, this one will. On the ground floor, there's the must-have open-plan kitchen diner, huge living room and charming sitting room packed with oodles of period features, which we know Lara loves.
On the first floor, there are 4 bedrooms, one more than they asked for, so Bob can work from home. Lara's clothes are catered for, they get the main suite, and there's one to spare, plus a modern bathroom.
Outside, there's a good-sized garden, and although the lack of parking isn't ideal, it means it's affordable. At offers in excess of £400,000, we're confident this place is within their 410 grand budget, and they wouldn't have to lift a finger.
So that first house you felt needed a bit of TLC. This
Yes.
one's been modernised,
Yes,
and yet it retains the lovely features like the tiled floor.
I love it, I love it.
I thought you would.
This is my
there's
idea of a kitchen.
everything
roomy.
inside looks
Yeah.
brilliant so far.
£400,000
Okay.
is the asking price.
Yeah.
Okay. Living in the house sounds perfect,
Yeah.
but it's our life outside the house that's going to be the difficult bit.
Lara, you are beaming.
I'm very happy, but also nervous as well.
What are you nervous about?
Bob's sensible head, and also that this is towards the top end of our budget.
Yeah.
How much more over asking price would this go for?
They had an offer of 400,000, which they accepted, but the person was not proceedable. So it's fully available at 400,000.
Okay.
It looks like Lara's ready to sign on the dotted line, even without seeing upstairs. I wouldn't want to be in Bob's boots if he's thinking of putting the handbrake on.
Oh, this is a nice room.
It's good for a dressing room because there's so much natural light coming in here.
Yeah, it is. It's perfect.
Oh, this is the office space then.
Yeah, it's already done for you.
It's perfect.
Go move in tomorrow.
Well, I have somewhat deliberately set up the classic dilemma. I needed to bring them here to see the kind of house that they are dismissing in favour of a private parking spot. There's no right or wrong, but I do need them to really confront it.
This is amazing.
Big enough to have a sofa in it.
I love this bedroom.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Don't be hard.
Lara has clearly fallen in love with this house, and who can blame her? But they both need to be on board if it's to become their future home.
What a lovely space.
I'm a bit lost for words. I love this house. I could move in tomorrow.
Ball's in your court then, Bob.
Yeah, I just have to have a think and see what else you've got in store for
Oh,
us.
I've got nothing else. Nothing else. Bob, you set your heart parking. But all I'd ask is just tonight, have a proper conversation.
Yeah.
Because somebody over this side of the room would forego it.
Yeah.
Good luck, Bob. You're going to need it.
Oh, I think so.
Let's just hope they're still a couple tomorrow, Phil. With Chris and Laura, we also have a dilemma on our hands. The garden at Property 1 didn't quite do it for Laura. But there isn't anything new that fits the bill with a larger plot for 350 grand. However, we've had word that their 1/3 of an acre dream house has just come back on the market. This is the place they fell in love with and bid for 3 months ago, but lost out on. So we've come to the small village of Woodcroft in the beautiful Wye Valley, 2 miles from Chepstow, to have another look.
There's something about this place. Like when I found out we were coming back, My initial reaction was
OK,
excitement.
let's go up and look at what is actually the draw, I
Yes.
think, for this house.
Because, lovely though it is, I think this place has become idolised in both their minds. It's a semi-detached stone cottage with an open-plan kitchen cum dining room. The lounge is homely and leads out onto a conservatory.
Upstairs, there's 2 bedrooms rather than the ideal 3, but Jack still gets his own room. Plus, there's a family bathroom. It's perfectly livable, but could do with some TLC. But what Chris and Laura really fell in love with is the outside space. 1/3 of an acre with tiered gardens leading up onto a small wooded patch with views over the Wye Valley.
The asking price was $375,000 when Chris and Laura's offer of $337,500 was declined. It's recently been reduced to $350,000, their maximum spend. So now is the time to jump on it or rule it out.
I am not denying for a single second this is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to set straight out,
Yeah.
it is
It's big.
huge. But also, for the first 18 months, you couldn't work on this with Jack in the garden. You would be putting an enormous strain on yourself. I also think you would wake up on a Saturday morning and you'd look out the window and you'd think, oh. And I think this house is both haunting and hindering your search.
Absolutely, yeah.
It is wildly impractical.
I think...
I mean, you're talking complete sense.
Yeah, and I think we know that deep down. I think it was very, very useful to come back here and have this chat.
Really? You're just
Yeah.
being nice to me.
No, I think you've closed off what was slightly still open in our minds.
Quite impressed that you ever put in an offer.
At another stage in their lives, somewhere like this could be ideal. But with a kid, commutes and careers, Chris and Laura have realised now is not the time. They're letting this dream house go, but I need to find them another one. We're in South Wales, where new parents Chris and Laura want to ditch city life in Bristol for a rural retreat near Chepstow. But they're struggling to find the sweet spot between property and plot size.
Is the place where Jack can grow the same place they can grow their veg? That's the difficult choice for Chris and Laura.
We found a good compromise at Property 1 in Mathen, but Laura didn't dig it quite as much as Chris did.
It's not making me really excited.
So the hunt continues.
And equally challenging for Lara and Bob is finding the spot that satisfies their hearts as well as their desire for parking.
They've lost out on all 10 houses they've bid on in central Cardiff and are more than ready to buy. Well, Lara certainly is after viewing Property 2 in Roath.
I love this house. I could move in tomorrow.
But the lack of private parking means Bob may prefer to put this place in his rear-view mirror. For our third property, we've come to Gabalfa, 2 miles north of the city centre. It's a popular spot and great for their lifestyle. I'm revved up about this place as it offers a rare opportunity to solve the perennial parking problem.
I know you'll be going, Bill, where's the parking? There is a solution at the back.
Oh, okay,
Bob's smiling now.
What do you make of the look of it?
Looks really nice.
Like what I see so far, everything we want is in walking distance from here, which is good.
Should you have a look inside?
Yes.
We've certainly nailed the brief with this house. On the ground floor, yet again, we have a fabulous tiled hallway. There's a smart and spacious lounge, separate sitting room, and a lovely modern eat-in kitchen, a must-have for Lara.
Upstairs is just as impressive with 4 bedrooms, 2 delightful doubles and 2 singles. Bob can work from home, Lara gets her dressing room, and there's 1 to spare. Plus a huge contemporary bathroom. The garden is paved, and there's a rear lane access, giving them space to park their cars out back, a rare find.
And if that wasn't perfect enough, the asking price of £360,000 is an impressive 50 grand below their maximum spend of £410,000. But there's already interest, so it won't hang around for long.
More beautiful tiles.
Lovely.
Very Lara.
Big tick.
Through to the kitchen diner.
Wow. Really nice.
We've got a yard rather than a garden, but you could park a car in it. There is a rear lane access.
That's a very good solution for our parking issue.
Look, he's smiling again.
Yeah, I'm liking this.
priced at 360,000.
Interesting.
Yeah, surprised at that. It's definitely sparking my interest anyway. What are you thinking?
I'm liking it. Budget gives us that flexibility to put our own touch on the building.
Yeah.
As an architectural designer, Bob has the vision. And with Lara's love of period details and decor, they could create something special here.
Oh, wow.
That's very big.
Yeah.
But no bath.
Oh,
The
little
back room.
box room.
It's a dressing room option with loads of storage.
Could this be the sweet spot, giving Lara the Victorian grandeur that she's after, whilst also providing Bob with a parking solution, all neatly under budget? Well, let's hope so.
This house is a real find and completely within their grasp, but they'll need to move swiftly.
I do love the potential in this property.
Good, me too.
Oh, Phil, I can't believe how perfect this place is for them.
You can nearly get 2 cars in here.
You probably could.
I really like it. I think it's got everything that we want, and it allows us to put our own stamp on it.
So it sounds like we've got a contender.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Where are you at on the second house, the one with no parking? Because you loved it, but is it in or is it out?
I think, sadly, it's probably out.
Okay. Whereas this is in at the moment.
Yeah.
I've got another house up my sleeve, so we're going to try and beat this.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on.
Fab.
We can do it.
Brave words, Phil, in this busy market, but bless you for trying. Back with Chris and Laura, and for our final property, I'm trying a different tack. We're in Undy, just down the road from the sought-after Welsh village of Mega, 10 miles south of Chepstow, to see this property. Bungalows often come with bigger plots, and this is no exception. To cap it all off, the one and only Mr. Phil Spencer is doing a house call.
See, I knew this would happen once you got this thing round your neck.
Leave
You'd
it.
just
no,
permanently be
no,
on
no,
it.
I'm permanently on it anyway. The fact that you're not is disturbing. Shows you're not busy enough, Phil.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
So this is Phil Spencer.
Hello.
This house, it goes off into woods.
I
First thing I noticed. Like,
Yeah.
Peaceful.
So it's really peaceful. It's on the market 350,000. Phil,
Well,
you
should we
lead
go to
way.
the garden first, seeing as that's the big thing?
Yeah. Okay. You go. Follow Phil, guys.
Thank you.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend that as a life choice.
As usual, I shall rise above and lead the way.
This bungalow isn't huge, but Chris and Laura could extend as and when they need more space. For now, though, there's a living room to the front, separate dining room and galley kitchen. 2 bedrooms, 1 double and a single for Jack, plus a shower room.
But as we know, it's all about the garden. And here there's a substantial plot, a bit bigger than property 1, but still manageable.
At $350,000, it's priced at the very top of their budget, so any updating would need to wait.
So we have a nice garden, sufficient for chickens, vegetables.
Yeah.
First impressions are good.
They're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah.
I really love this
Yes.
outlook,
Yeah.
having the trees and...
Hold on, I'm just going to take my life in my hands.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Don't.
No,
don't,
it's
don't,
fine.
Don't.
I'm just
Well,
gonna
I'll do
find-
it then. What do you want? What do you need to know?
oh, it's a path.
There's a footpath.
Yeah, so they're never going to build on that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Everything appears rosy in the garden, but is this property somewhere they'd like to put down roots?
Smallish kitchen, but
Yeah.
perfectly livable, clean and tidy.
Yeah.
Laura, why don't you come with me?
Whilst Kirsty tries to persuade Chris to knock walls down, we can talk brass tacks.
My personal feeling is the 350,000 is quite an ambitious price.
Okay.
So I think you should be able to get it for less than that.
Because, yeah, we would need a bit of money, wouldn't we,
Yeah.
to make it ours. Yeah.
But it wouldn't take much remodelling to transform this place.
You take this down and that wall. So this is your kitchen reception area.
By taking out the wall between the kitchen and bedroom 1, Chris and Laura could have a fantastic open-plan kitchen diner. Then what was the dining room would become their new main bedroom, and later on they could extend upwards to give them a 3rd bedroom with an ensuite.
You've prompted us to be perhaps more realistic about what we can do with the money that we've got.
Jack would be playing outside and you'd be doing the veggies.
You paint a lovely portrait, Kirsty, but I think Laura has a different picture in mind.
We are both quite keen on that first house. I
Okay,
think-
good.
Yeah. Chris always was, and I've kind of come around
Cool.
having thought about it. So,
Excellent.
These two might finally be digging the same patch.
This garden is nice, but I think the other one is still better.
Agreed. Cool.
They've obviously had big chats last night about that house that you showed them yesterday. She's coming round to it.
My work here is done.
You mean our work, Kirsty?
A drop of rain.
Oh, thank you, Phil. Ever the gallant.
So, friends, what do you reckon?
It's great, but I think we do really like that
We're
first
certainly
house.
leaning towards the first one more
The
now.
first one.
Yeah,
Do you want to pop back and have another look?
we would really like that.
Really like
Okey
that,
doke.
yeah.
Let's do that.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank you
very
very
much,
much. Thanks
Okie
for your
dokie.
help.
Right. God, he's taking the brolly. Come on, let's dash.
Not so gallant after all, Phil, but it appears we now have a house in the running. Happy days.
In Cardiff, with Bob and Lara, property 3, the huge house with parking in Gabalfa, is in pole position. But I've got one final offering, which may just pip it to the post. We've come to trendy Canton, their favourite spot. And Kirsty's come along for backup, in her own unique way.
Is this the right area? I know what you're like.
Yeah, it is absolutely the right area. It's a little bit of a flyer on the house.
So this is location, location, location.
It's funny that. Come and join us. And I even brought my friend.
We love this location.
Bob is standing where his car would go.
But it's not allocated.
When they're not allocated, it means it's not usually a problem. So
OK, it's amazing what a good location can do for someone's mood.
And we're not here by accident, Kirsty. This house has huge potential, but needs some TLC. On the ground floor, there's a large living room cum diner. The kitchen could easily be knocked through into the utility room to give the dream space thereafter.
Upstairs, there are 3 double bedrooms and a bathroom. Period features throughout should go down well with Lara. Outside, there's a south-facing patio garden, and as we know, parking is on the street, but there's enough for everyone.
At £395,000, it's 15 grand below their maximum spend of 410. Less house for more money, but they are where they want to be.
The house has been rented out, so it's not kind of tip-top condition-wise. I'm kind of seeing this as a long-term play for you. You could do the work in years to come and spend a very, very long time living in this house.
It's because, Phil, how much is this house on the market at?
It's on at 395.
OK.
okay. At the moment, it's ticking the right boxes.
So I'm excited to see the rest of the house.
No time like the present. With a bit of effort from Bob and Lara, this house will polish up nicely.
It's a lovely lot of original features, this house. The doors, the staircase.
It is a bit of a blank canvas, so we could make it how we want to.
I mean, of the things that Phil has shown you, where does this come in the list?
It's tie-in with the last property we saw for lots
Right.
of different reasons.
What do you make of this then?
It's another decent size.
It is, isn't it?
I do like the fireplace with the log burner.
Yeah.
The asking price is a bit high for a lot of renovation, but we'll have to sort of use our imagination a bit more in this house. And I think I should be okay with parking here.
This is a new Bob. You've come out today with a different mindset. I mean, I think the parking's okay.
What has Bob got? Is it a Rolls Royce?
No, he's got a Mazda, but it's his baby.
And I'm sure the four-wheeled friend would be happy wherever they're happy.
We are in Canton. It is our favourite spot.
I think we've got to really think about, do we want this location over the house that we want?
Some food for thought, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do.
No, it's the last house. Trust me on that one.
Okay.
Because it's bigger,
Yes.
cheaper,
Yes.
and has more long-term potential.
Property 3 costs 35 grand less and has an extra bedroom plus private parking.
But as we know, you can never underestimate the pull of a prime location.
Happy smiling face.
I've just told Phil, it's not this house, it's the other house.
Yeah, I think you're right. I've got a much better feeling from the previous house.
Feels more our home.
OK.
Thank you for coming, but you've been no help. Come on, let's get out of here.
You'd be lost without me, Phil.
Well, I'm certainly glad we found property 3. Now the small matter of trying to buy it. Here in Cardiff, Bob and Lara seem to have fallen hard for property 3, the fabulous 4-bed house in Gabalfa that gives them lifestyle and parking.
As for Chris and Laura, they look like they're leaning towards property 1, the super semi in Mathen. Chris fell for it on first viewing, and Laura's coming round to its charms. But it all rests on their second viewing.
Happy.
Very
Really?
happy, yeah.
Really happy?
Yeah.
Really happy, yeah. Jack could be safe out here.
Yeah,
We can watch
really
him from the
safe,
house.
yeah.
This looks even better on second inspection.
As we know, it was always about the garden for Laura, but this place does give them the full package.
It's really exciting, isn't it?
It is really
Being
exciting.
back here and
Yeah, yeah.
imagining us here and... Yeah, no, I do. Love it.
What a turnaround, Kirsty.
Oh, the sun's come out. I wonder why.
I wouldn't mind a bit of help from on high myself. Bob and Lara are ready to make an offer on the handsome 4-bed house in Gabalfa, and I'm determined to bag it for them.
Nervous moments in the camp. It's on the market at 360,000, and there is one other party that saw it 2 days ago. Hasn't made an offer, but is considering it. What are we going to do about it?
For me, I would happily put an offer in for asking price.
We're happy to go in with
Yeah.
360.
It's not an unreasonable asking price.
Yeah, let's just get it.
Let's get it done.
Bob and Lara have been at this stage 10 times before and fallen at the last hurdle. Let's hope this is lucky number 11.
Hi, Karen. I'm sat with our buyers here, and they would like to make an offer. The situation I'm bringing to you is an offer of 360,000, the full asking price, but we would like an answer to that rapidly and all marketing to cease. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Now we wait.
Good luck, Phil. We may also be in the business of bidding on a house. And for Chris and Laura, it's the sensational semi in Mathen, on at 329,950. But we may have some last-minute competition.
Someone has made an offer which has been turned down, but the agent has described them as still in negotiations. This does mean there's someone between us and that house. And we need to eradicate them.
Brutal.
So we have to negotiate in such a way that we see off the other people. Is there a figure that is a comfortable figure for you?
Like 320 would be amazing, but I guess that's a bit too cheeky.
No, I don't think necessarily. It would be a good start point if you were agreed on that.
I think we are agreed on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Offering 10 grand below the asking price is a bold move, but fingers crossed.
Oh, hi, it's Kirsty. I have spoken to my buyers, and they are really keen on the house. So I want to make a proper, serious, straight-up offer, which your vendors would accept, and then end of story. Do you think 320 would come anywhere close? Okie dokie. Well, I'm going to leave that with you, and let's see what happens. Bye.
Okay,
Yeah.
now we wait.
Yeah.
Exciting.
As for Bob and Lara, we're also on the edge of our seats, waiting to hear if their asking price offer of 360 grand has been accepted. Here we go.
That was super speedy. Yeah. Deal agreed, off the market. Very, very happy at this end. Thanks, Karen. Bye-bye. Well done, you two.
I'm a bit speechless. I'm really excited
Yeah,
now.
I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Raise a glass to that, I think.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Seems that house was lucky number 11 after all, Phil.
I'm absolutely thrilled for Bob and Lara. Finally, a home of their own. Result.
As for Chris and Laura, it was an anxious 48 hours before the agent got back in touch.
Kirsty rang me at work to tell us that we had got the house. Couldn't quite believe it. It's all happening and it's going through.
With no onward chain, Chris and Laura hope to have the keys in the next couple of months.
I think we're both just really happy to get out of the city. It'll just be nice to have more space because Jack will be able to have his own room.
Not having to have a ball pit in the kitchen anymore. We're very, very, very excited.
And Laura can't wait to get her green fingers on that garden.
I've already sort of started planning it in my head, where the veg patch is going to be, where it's going to be a place for Jack to play, and I think it's actually going to be perfect.
Their dream of the good life in the Welsh countryside is finally taking root.
I honestly don't think we would have found this house without Kirsty's help. She lived up to our expectations.
Yeah.
I aim to please. I'm sure they'll be very happy in their new home.
As for Bob and Lara, it won't be long before they get the keys to their new home in Gabalfa.
I'm so excited.